The carpet industry has really taken a lead in sustainability going back 20 years, it seems like. We've just had, I think, 3 individuals on, your members, talking about their recent sustainability reports. And I think certainly the industry can be very proud as a whole of what it's done.
Well, I would submit absolutely yes, the industry can be very proud of that. You know, those members who have actually undertaken the development of a sustainability report, and there are different versions of the protocol that they use to prepare those reports, but having been a member of one of those companies for so many years, I was very close to the process, and I can appreciate the effort, the energy, the resource consumption that it takes to ensure that when those reports are produced, like the aforementioned Green Label Plus program, the credibility and the reliability of those reports, when a consumer picks that up, they can have confidence that those reports are valid, that they have real substantive meaning to the way that that enterprise is looking at its responsibilities and sustainability. And that translates not only from our members, but then into how CRI responds and reacts. And I can tell you that you know, in my little over 1 year tenure here now as the head of CRI, we have seen focus with CRI, CARE, and member resources to deal with many sustainability issues. One of those ways is in the area of extended producer responsibility. We have had engagement with those resources that I mentioned in places like Illinois and Minnesota, who have had a very strong push about extended producer responsibility, and were in fact looking to impose statutory regulation upon the industry, as was done in California. And what we have seen, Dave, is that because of our engagement with state legislators in these specific states, for example, we've developed coalitions where multi-stakeholders are engaged in a dialogue about what can be done to provide meaningful and responsible EPR efforts in their states, and not be imposed by regulation on how that should be done statutorily, but have market-driven solutions that will find longer lasting and more economically beneficial solutions to extended producer responsibility. So it goes from the mill members and what they do with their sustainability efforts, and it translates into action of how we can work together with our members and other stakeholders to ensure that we're doing everything we can in a reasonable way to support extended producer responsibility solutions.
So you're beginning to see players out there be amenable to market-driven solutions?
I would say the short answer is yes. Obviously, there are very strong positions and opinions relative to market-driven versus statutorily regulatory-driven solutions. But the fact that we have engaged at the right levels, the kind of dialogue that it takes to get meaningful solutions, I would say that we're on a trajectory to get, hopefully, market-driven solutions and not regulatory solutions in states where, if you'd asked me 2 years ago, you know, are they likely to have regulatory solutions, I'd say it's probably highly likely. But due to the efforts that I mentioned, I think we've turned that direction, and now we're going to see a more positive solution that can be worked out amongst all stakeholders to do the right thing.
Very interesting. Let me ask you about the Seal of Approval program. We've talked about that a number of times in the past, and just at the beginning, maybe, just in case some of our listeners maybe aren't plugged in, just give us a little thumbnail of what that program is as well.
Well, the Seal of Approval program has a protocol of testing and evaluation of products, and those products could be items such as vacuum cleaning devices, traditional vacuum cleaners. They could be handheld, individual units or central units. It could be the cleaning solutions and maintenance solutions that are used for spot cleaning or general cleaning of the flooring, and or the more involved truck-mounted, for example, deep cleaning solutions that are available in the marketplace today. And our seal of approval program has a methodology by which those items can be submitted to testing under our protocol, and then based upon the performance, they will be evaluated and ultimately provided with a general rating score that says this item performs at this kind of level relative to our protocol. Now, what we have seen is that the seal of approval program is I would submit to you, is a living program. That is, it's not something that was established 10 years ago and nothing changes. It is a living program. We have great working relationships with our participants that are involved in submitting products for the program, and they see value in having their products evaluated under seal of approval. We see consumers who are very accepting of the fact that the seal of approval program gives them confidence in a purchase that they may make relative to a vacuum cleaning system and or cleaning protocol products, the chemicals, the things that they use for their routine daily and weekly maintenance versus the annual or semi-annual kind of maintenance. So we think that we have a program that is valuable to both the producer of the products. We think we see a program that is valuable to the consumer who recognizes that seal of approval has meaning and value. And ultimately, our goal is to see that consumers are satisfied with their flooring of choice, that the carpet they've chosen for their home and or a commercial installation, that carpet and soft floor covering, because of the way it can be maintained and its beauty enhanced and preserved, that this is just one other way that we can ultimately see a consumer be extremely satisfied with the choice they made to select carpeting and soft floor covering for their floor. So some things that we've worked on there, we have worked this program to meet the needs of the cleaning and maintenance community primarily, because those who execute the program, they are working with the consumer to meet their needs, and so this cleaning and maintenance community is the primary focus of the way the program works, but the end in mind is the consumer. So this past year, we've done a number of things. We've addressed the oily component with our test materials that evaluate products against one another, and this material has been included in the extractor and deep cleaning protocol component of the seal of approval program. We've developed an interim maintenance protocol. For example, we had the spot cleaning, and then we had the deep cleaning, sort of annual or more effective, if you will, deep cleaning process. But then what do you do in between? You clean up a spot here today, and then you deal with a very deep cleaning in an extended period of time. What do you do in the interim? So we've developed an interim protocol for testing products that are aimed at that interim cleaning and maintenance. We've developed a protocol for encapsulate type materials that encapsulate the soil and or stains, and so we've developed a protocol for that. We're in the process of working in a continuing way with vacuum cleaner manufacturers around the issue of what is termed soft fibers or constructions that have perhaps a more difficult ability to use a vacuum cleaner because of the issues around construction and soft fibers that are so prevalent today. We continue to work with the vacuum cleaner manufacturers to assist them with testing the right kinds of materials, with evaluating their technical capabilities of their systems relative to those kinds of soft and new constructions that are out there today. So when all's said and done, I measure success with metrics, okay? And today we have more than 1,100 certified products in our seal of approval program. We have more than 900 certified providers of these services. So to say it's well received and well recognized, I think those metrics speak for themselves, that we have a program that is valued, respected by the cleaning and maintenance industry, and ultimately by the consumer.
Yeah, and you seem to have a steady flow of players joining this program, having their products
We do.
tested.
We do. In our new protocol, I'm signing off on the engagements with those new folks, and I'm signing those documents every day. So yes, it is a constant influx of participants.
Now, let me ask you about, I think you mentioned the greasy dirt aspect. Now, this is designer soil, basically. It's been called over the years, for lack of a better word, I guess. But the idea being, you know, dirt in California is probably different from dirt in Pennsylvania, so something has to be designed to test.
Yes.
And that's been dirt that you've used, and I understand that real world dirt has a greasy element, so you've added that to the designer dirt. Tell us about that addition.
Well, it's the idea is that we evaluated the oily component in our vacuum cleaner protocol. We evaluated it in our spot cleaning process, and to be very blunt and cut to the chase here, we didn't see any real difference when it was included for evaluation of those. When we got to the deep cleaning process, where solvents, and say solvents, it could be hot water, it could be, you know, whatever. When we got to the deep cleaning maintenance protocol, we did then begin to see some difference between when it was included and when it was not. So the decision that we made here at CRI relative to the testing program was we modified the designer soil to include it's like baking a cake recipe. It has a component of various kinds of clays, various kinds of silicas, and other soil relevant composition, but we included an oil component as well in the recipe, so that the impact of the material being present in the soil, where it did show that there was perhaps some difference when it was and was not included, then we have modified the program to incorporate that.
Okay. Now, has that changed results? I mean, do people have to go back and have it retested eventually or something?
The answer is that the way our protocol of testing is working, that we're seeing those where it has made a difference. They've resubmitted their equipment and apparatus for retesting, and so yes, it has in some cases precipitated a retest of certain equipments, because obviously the vendor wants to be able to demonstrate that they can perform at the highest level. So so yes, I'd say that it has precipitated some of that. But the reality is, I think the validity of our program, with and without the oily soil, was very valid. It's just added an additional degree of refinement to the testing protocol to ensure we're giving the very best of comparison results when we try to look at that designer soil and have it be more relevant than perhaps it has been in the past.
I gotcha.